And we're going to start with the Shri Rag Mehla Panjama, the fifth master. And you will notice that suddenly there will be a certain change in tone and the shade and the color as of it. Because the fifth master is actually pretty much a peak of the thought process that has come through all the way, and so the language is going to get a little easier, but the thoughts are going to become more direct, and you will see as we proceed through this. In Guru Granth Sahib, the maximum number of hymns are by the fifth master. Maximum Bani, maximum compilation is by him, because he was, when he got on the path, he was the youngest in age, right from the early childhood. And so, as we saw last time, the message was, Jinni Gurmukh Naam Salaya, Tinna Sabko Kahe Sabas, Tinki Sangat Deh Prabh Main Jachik Ki Ardas, Nanak Bhag Vade Tina Gurmukhan Jin Antar Naam Pragas. And the message was that if those who are on by choice a path, they are on a path, but it's not something that's forced on them. It is by choice. Because religion may not be a choice, but spirituality is absolutely a choice. You may get trapped into a certain family, a cultural, social environment, and say, hey, I do not have a freedom. I'm born to a Sikh family, a Hindu family, a Muslim family, and I'm stuck with that thought process. But that's the religion, ritualistic part of it. Whether you want to now go into the spiritual aspect of it, mystical aspect of it, that's a complete choice. Nobody can force you on it, and nobody can stop you from it, by the way, also. It has been known and proven again and again and again that more hindrances are placed in the path of a spiritualist, more determined he gets, more stronger he gets. This actually works the opposite. For a ritualism, you can do something or not do something because there is no energy in it. It is just a pure drama. But in its mysticism, it is pure mystical energy. So if you try to put a stop to it, if you try to divert it, critique it, judge it, you'll find that it will get stronger and stronger and stronger. It has not fade away. So those who conscientiously do this, Jinni Gurmukh Naam Salaya, those who consciously go on the path, that's a great, brave decision, and everybody admires that, doer and the non-doer. It's not an easy thing to do. And the suggestion was, if you also want to do this, then you seek the company of such people. Surround yourself by such souls. Tinki Sangat Dehe Prabhu. Sangat. Seek the company of such. Only wish for that, only pray for that, man, Jajat Ki Ardas. And if that happens, then you would automatically get on in the direction where Jin Antar Naam Pragas. It will automatically light the lamp inside your heart. So, then the question is, if it is so categorically indicated in almost every spiritual and mystical literature, what is the problem? Why do we find that the majority stays away from it? What is the problem? And the fifth master is going to pick up that theme and start with that and say, Kya tu ratta dekh ke putra kalatar sigar. Here is the very, very first foundation as to why does a human, male or female, only listens, agrees, but do nothing. He says, what is happening is, kya tu ratta, rattya gaya hai. Rangya jana, rattya jana. We have talked about it. The rangana, to color something, that color can be taken off or put back in. But once it is rattya jana, then that color cannot come out. It's permanent nature. As in English language, it never fades. Rattaja means it always remains the same, no matter what you do with the cloth. If it is done the right way, that color will always maintain it.
Rijya.
Yes.
Would it be another way? Submerged.
Rachigya.
Yeah.
Submerged.
Yeah. So, he said, what's happening to the mind? I said, well, this is what is happening. The real immersion is not into the spiritual and mystical pursuit. It is into the world of where your children and where your spouses and where the beauty is. The sensual beauty. Shingar. Puttar, son. Kalattar, wife. Shigar, beauty around you. You see, the color of that is so heavy on you, heavy on the human mind body system, that even when the mystical and spiritual message is there, that just remains as a Rangya level. It doesn't go to the Ratya level because the Ratya is already there. Of what? The sensory pleasures. क्या तू रत्ता देख के पुत्र कलतर सिगार रस भोगे खुशियां करे माने रंग अपार. So being immersed into the world of sensuality, surrounded by the family life, surrounded by the children and the spouses and the family life, you are basically too busy enjoying the pleasures that are coming out of it. And when the mind-body system is busy doing what? Rasapog. Ras literally means the enjoyment. Pog means to get the enjoyment. Khushiyan kare. Having fun with the life. And we, earlier I shared with you the story of a 9-year-old daughter who asked the father as to why should we do all this Nam Japana and Bhagati and Vaheguru? And the father said, so that we don't have to be born again. And the daughter said, why not? I want to be born again. I love you, Daddy. I want to be your daughter again. I love my mom. I want to be her daughter again. I love my brother. I want to be her sister again. So I don't want to do what you're telling me to do, if that's what the reason is. And he was completely stumped. Know what to do, know what to say. And he turned around to me and said, you have an answer for this? I said, no. You are telling to the wrong person. A 9-year-old who can get everything that she needs by just asking for it would want to do that again and again and again. It's a very honest answer. Just let it go. Don't try to now dig a hole more deep. She is absolutely right. Mysticism and spirituality bug bites you when you have been pushed back somewhere along the life, where you are forced to confront your own inner demon and say, is there all to it? Why I am doing what I am doing? Do I want to continue doing this again and again and again? And when the voice from inside says, no, I had enough, only then you go in that direction. So long you haven't reached that plateau, no matter how much spirituality is surrounding you, you will not be affected. And Gurbani has put that fact on the plate for us and say, look at it. Don't deceive yourself. Don't be in an illusionary, self-deceptive stage. If you are in here, which is रस भोग है, खुशियां करे, माने रंग अपार, बहुत करे फरमाइशी, वर्ते हुए अफार. Anything that you don't get, then you order for it. फरमान कर देना. I need this. Okay, now, if that cannot be refused or denied to you, and you की कर रहे हैं तू, बहुत करे फरमाइशी. Everything that you need, you just order for it. Then what's going to happen? Say, this is the end result. वर्ते हुए अफार. अफारा चढ़ जाना है. Literally, crudely translated would be gas हो जाती है बहुत टेन फाड़. Right? Afar means the bloating. You get bloated with the pleasures of life. That makes you arrogant and egotistical. Hey, I got everything that I need. I can get it. And how much pleasure we take. My class fellow who lives in Houston called me a few days ago and was telling me that he wanted to visit one of the some temples over there, and because of the constructions and at the same time a major festival, the roads were being opened only in one direction. It was taking such a long time, and he had a friend, another class fellow of ours, who is now posted there as a senior official. So he said, don't you worry about it. We have the solution for everything. So they gave them the official jeep, which had a government vehicle on a government business, and put a red cross on it and shut down the traffic on border till they reached the high end. Everybody else was stopped. And he was repeating that experience with so much of a glee that, it's nice to know the people at the right places with the right time and with the right money, because he's himself a big industrialist here, gazillionaire literally, and naturally over there also, nothing as gazillionaires are going to be treated just differently. And when I read that line this morning, that immediately flashed through my mind. Kya baat hai? Gurbani, how it pulls out from the real life these little gems and throws in front of you and say, look what you're doing. बहुत करे फरमाइशी. फरमाइशां करके काम पूरा करदा पे और ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਵਰਤੇ ਹੋਏ ਅਫਾਰ. Indigestion develop हो रही है, ego develop हो रही है, mind body system is getting completely muddied up. You think that right now there is any space for talking of spirituality to such a soul? Or does he need it? Does he want it? Does he care for it? Why? It is impossible. Why would you talk to somebody to give it everything up and transcend your sensuality when the senses are being catered so delicately in such a nice fashion? And so Gurbani says, when you are in that state of existence, what happens? Karta Chaitanya Ave. Now this is going to be the automatic result. Karta Chaitanya Ave. The one who is responsible for all of this, you are not going to remember it now. Because you are too busy admiring and enjoying the sensual gratification that are taking place, And what it will keep on doing to your mind-body system? Manmukh and Gavar. Manmukh, the one who only follows the self. And means who is now losing all of the higher awareness of Andha ho jana means blind from, not from this eyes, but blind from the mind. And Gavar means the one who would not have educated oneself or informed oneself of a higher existence of human mind-body system. So understand, this is not calling somebody these names. Manmukh and Gavar bande nu nahi kiya ja raha. It's, so most of the traditional translators take a look at it and say, Gurbani is being very tough. He's using such strong words. No, it is describing the condition of those who follow that. This is what happens in the end. Our experience then forces us to follow our own mind. Right? More I have seen, more I have known, more I'm going to feel like, I need to tell. Rather than saying, hey, wait, let me ask somebody else. I will have the tendency to say, I'll tell you, I was there. And I did this, you can do that too. So you keep on becoming more and more Manamukh rather than Gurumukh. And Andha, you keep on becoming more and more ignorant of the inner working of the soul because you are attached to the outside. And automatically the word Gavar means the one who is not sophisticated enough. Sophistication is going to go away from you as far as spirituality is concerned because you are too busy enjoying what the physical pleasures are presenting to.
What is the meaning of Manmukh and Gurumukh?
The Manmukh that follows the self, and Gurumukh is who follow what comes out of the mouth of the Guru.
Oh, Guru. Okay.
Manmukh follows what comes out of one's own mind. Gurumukh follows what comes out of. मेरे मन सुख दाता हर सोए गुर प्रसादी पाइए कर्म प्राप्त होए रहा. Understand that all of those pleasures that have been referenced up in the first 3 lines, they are coming from a single source, Sukhdata. Even though you are enjoying that pleasure and you have forgotten which is Karta Chetanaya Avai. Ki Chetanaya Aya? Mere Man Sukhdata Har Soy. Even the pleasures in the senses is not something that a human could create. It is also his gift. Right? We traditionally we say कि जी खान नूं दे दिता है पर मजा लैण जोगा नहीं छड्डिया है ना जी सारा कुछ सामने पे है पर एंजॉय नहीं कर सकते. Right? How? Well, my body is sick. I have all the wealth in around the world and I can have all the pleasures of the world, but the body is sick, so I can't enjoy it. Or I have all the pleasure available to me, but the mind has gone sick. I'm always looking for more and always finding faults with what I got. What I got is never enough, so I'm always critiquing that, missing the chance to enjoy it, what I got. So we normally say, see, he's lucky enough to have everything, but unlucky enough not to be able to enjoy it. Nature did not give that strength, that character to enjoy it. So Gurbani is saying that you have not only forgotten who that is, you have also forgotten that what you are enjoying is also his gift. There was no need. If the food is only for sustenance, what should it also be tasty? Right? There was no need for taste buds. But he gave the taste bud. only gave the food, not only he gave the capability to digest the food, eat the food, but at the same time added another element. Enjoy the food. That is the meaning of a Sukhdata. All the Sukha is created by him. So, to enjoy the Sukha without remembering him becomes your downfall, becomes the basic problem that keeps you taking away. Mere man sukhdata har soye. He is the one who is responsible for all of the pleasures of life. Gur prasadi paiye karm parapat hoye. So what do we get from Gur Prasad? Look, they're both of them together here. Look at this line. It's a very important line. Gur Prasadi paiye karam prapat hoye. Means what? Karam means his kripa, but Gur Prasad also means his kripa. So the line must be referring to something more deeper than that. When you go to Guru, what you get? You get the methodology to get to him. Guru only can give you their prasad, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yes, this is how what I did. You can do it too, right? Okay. Now you take that prasad and you start doing it.
Then you get prasad again.
Then you're going to need his karam to be accepted. It's not your doing. It's not because you started doing it, you're going to get there. Mm-hmm. See the complexities of Gurbani? Gur prasadi paiye karam prapat hoye. With Gur Prasad, you will get the process. With his karamat, you will get the property. Right. So, सारा कुछ गुरु दे प्रसाद ना तो दी कृपा नाल हुंदा है ट्रांसलेशन करके चले जाओगे you won't get the what is really being hinted.
So what you're saying is Guru gives you the way to reach to him, how to pray and etc etc etc.
He just gives you the process.
Okay. And when you follow that process, then God is the one who does krupa on you, means blesses you.
Following the process should not give you the illusion that you got to the stage because you followed the process, because then you become the doer. When you become the doer, you become egoistic. When you become egoistic, you go away rather than get closer. So while you are following the process, you still have to remember that he is not going to come because I am doing something. He's only going to appear when he wants to. It's his grace. It's his prasad. No action of mine can ever result in my ultimate bliss. Impossible. To the outsider it may appear so. We've been watching this guy. He's been bhakti karte nu sari umr 30 saal ho gaye. Ye laga hai jaise ithe baitha hai, hi karta hai. We've been watching him. For 30 years he has done nothing this. That's why he's where he is. Wrong. He is where he is because of his grace. He did what he did because his guru told him. He got one prasad from the guru, which is the true path. But the true path does not guarantee arriving at the destination. Gurbani would not allow you to ever get into the trap of a doer. It will keep on hammering that thought constantly. It will say, do something, and then remind you right away. Remember his prasad. It doesn't let you forget for a single moment. Because this is the most slippery concept. Because a 9 years old can ask you, then why do it? Uska prasad aana hai, and then whenever his prasad comes, it comes. I'll just wait. I don't have to do anything. Everything is his prasad. You have a role to play. And that's what's being said. He says, if you want to get there, you need to follow that, which is Gur Prasadi Paiye Karam Prapat Hoye. But that's not what you are doing. What are you doing? The story goes on. Kappad Pog Lapataya Soena Rupa Khak means what? All that you are using to decorate your body, the clothing, jewelry, all kinds of perfumes and everything, and say, what is it? You are putting it on something which you know not only they are mortal, they are destructive. The body itself is also the same. Khak means the dust. The dust is decorating the dust. Havar gavar bahorang kiye rath athak. Havar means horses. Gavar means elephants. Means the animals that the rich people ride. Havar gavar. Gode hathi. The era gara nahi.
That's what I thought. It doesn't make any sense.
I could see on your face that you were having fun with it.
मुझे लगा misprint हो गया.
घोड़े हाथी बहुरंग की ये रथ अथाक अथाक जेड़े थक दे नहीं untired, that you are making arrangements for your rides. My car, our car don't get tired, right? We can keep on running hundreds and thousands of miles. And in those good old days, these were the means of transportation. Horses and elephants. But not only horses, but those kind of horses who don't get tired running around and giving you the ride. So when you are in that mode of living, kis hi chitna pavai bisraya sabsak. What to talk of remembering him? You don't even remember as to your near and dear who are getting hurt and damaged by you, by your living style, by your behavior. Kis hi chetana pavai. You don't even remember those who you are supposed to be actually protecting. Who are those? Visarya sabsak. Or relations, or what happens to the people? We have a saying, Tino mool upad ke zar zoru zameen. If you look behind a conflict, you will find one of the three or in any combination thereof. Zar means wealth, zoru means female, and zameens mean the earth. Whatever fights have always been, they have been because of these three. The face that launched thousands ships. For one Helen of Troy, how many people lost lives? So, the Gurbani is basically saying to you that when you are in that frame of mind and living, you will forget that this is actually my brother, this is actually my sister. You would be too busy living your life and doing your thing, and if anybody gets hurt on the process, so be it. How much blood has been shed because of the conflicts of dividing the ancestral property? Particularly in the land of Punjab, where we were grown up, this was one of the major reason for fights between the family is the division of the wealth. I mean, I remember brothers fighting because they want to put a barrier. Now, if the barrier is only 4.5 inches, they would try to put, rather than putting in the center 2.25 this way, they'll try to put the little brick on 2 inches on this side rather than that side. And it'll become a fight. Fight to the almost to the death. Ready to kill or die for it. 2.5 inches of land. That's what Gurbani is pointing out. Bisarya sab Sach. Even the relationship that you grew up together and you were born to the same parents and you had this bondage and you played together and had so much laughter, when it comes to the maintaining that type of a lifestyle which is completely sensual in nature, it has a tendency to make you forget not only God. Nobody has seen God. If you forget it, maybe you can be forgiven. But you forget even who are actually physically next to you. So as I said, you can see that the language and the examples have become far more direct now. And there is no compromise in this. Because it is not about a specific individual being in a specific part of the land or in a specific space and time. Well, in good old days it used to happen, now it doesn't. You can take these statements and apply anywhere at any time in any situation and they will hold true. Because it's being typed of the quality of the mind. The mind that has fallen into that trap, what that does do? Sirjanhar pulaya virname napak. It is the quality of that mind. Jisne ki kita hai Sirjanhar pulaya. Sirjanhar means the one who is the creator of us all. Sirjana karya means to create. Sirjanhar, the one who created, the creator. Sirjanhar bhulaya. Forgot completely about it, and Vin nave napak. Pak means pure, pavitra, holy. Napak means impure, unholy. So, mind-body system keeps on getting more and more and more impure because of that lifestyle. Lenda bad duaye tu maya kare ikat. So what happens to such a soul? You lenda bad duaye. I mean, I still remember I was talking to one of my friends about another friend that I had once, and the way he introduced, oh, you talk about the one who has never known a friend he did not cheat. Immediately, I mean that's how he defined. I said, you talking about so and so? Oh no, you are talking about the one who never met a friend he did not cheat. I'm talking about so and the other one. You may not be able to do something about such a person, but andaron toade odeli, you never say something good. With that name and face, there's something associated already in your mind, but you may not do anything, you may not say anything, but that thought process remains. And what happens? Instead of somebody saying, God bless you, it is the other way around. Please don't talk about him. I don't want to hear about it. Just as we used to say in Punjabi, "Kira svere svere Muhammad." Well, that's jani kata nahi lag rahi hai. Lenda bad duaye tum. Why is that the condition? It says Maya kare ikat. Ikat means to collect, to gather, to hold. Busy holding the wealth. It doesn't matter how you are doing it. And because you are doing it that way, you may not remember it, you may not see it, but the rest of the world sees it. And they don't have anything good to say about you. Maya kare kat jisnu tu patyainda so san tujhe anit. Jisnu tu patyainda. For those who you are doing all of this. Jisnu tu patyainda. For those who you are trying to patyana hunda to make somebody happy. For those you are doing to make them happy, so san tujhe anit. So those who you want to make happy, san, with tujhe, with you, those and you together, sab anit. You all are fodder to the death. Anit means mortals. Don't you understand that who you trying to please, they are also mortal. Along with you, you are also mortal. So, when you know you are immortal, collection of something means what? Leaving behind for somebody, right? If I know I'm not going to survive for ever and ever, someday I'm going to die. So, whatever I have collected, who will it belong to? For somebody else. And that somebody else is also going to die. So now what's the meaning of collection? Right? Gurbani forces us to examine this. I am not going to live forever, okay, fine. Maybe the one I'm leaving behind, they are going to live forever, so I should do something for them. When neither one of us are going to stay forever, what's the purpose of collection? And Gurbani says, investigate that. Jisnu tum patyainda so san tujhe. With you, all of them are anit. They are all mortal. Ahankar kare ahankariya vyape man ki mat. But isn't that amazing that not only you are doing something which is completely irrelevant, on top of that you feel proud of that. If you do something good, you can be proud of. So look at the paradox. You're doing something completely illogical, unnecessary, on top of that you feel proud of it. मैं जी करोड़ा छड़ के चले.
Why? Ego.
And I still remember that, and I think I told you that when I read Alan Watts, he said, if you are leaving the wealth behind, that means you actually raise stupid children. You are a very bad parent. Because you have actually a fear in your mind that the children you raise are incapable of earning their own livelihood. They are not even capable of making enough money so that they can survive. That's why you want to leave money for them. That means actually you are trying to cover your own stupidity. You are not a good father. You are not a good mother. You don't have that much confidence in your children. Isn't it? Look at the way of looking at it, how the things change. We take pride in the fact. 4 बिल्डिंगां लईयां ने 4 करोड़ रुपया पे है 5 फैक्ट्रियां पे बच्चों ने बिल्कुल कोई फिक्र ही नहीं. We tell with pride to our wives, you are taken care of for the rest of your life. You don't have to worry about it. I'm leaving so much behind for you. Mind-boggling. How illogical that we play God. We have no faith in those we are leaving behind that they can take care of themselves. And we have no faith in the one who created us all, that whether I'm here or not, they will be taken care of. That I am not the caretaker, somebody else is. It never occurs. Why does it not occur, Gurbani? That's the whole topic of today. Say, look at, it is your sensuality which is pulling you into that, and it is a slippery slope. Once you go on that, ahankar kare ahankarya vyapya man ki mat tin prab aap pulaya na tis jaat na pat. This is what has happened to you. You have forgotten him and you have forgotten the self. Then prabha aap. Who you really are, even that is completely gone. Why you are here, what is the purpose of human mind body system, you have forgotten completely. And when that is forgotten, what happens then? Tis jat napat. Then you become completely without any dignity. Why? Because that condition is of every animal. They have no clue of their creator. They have no clue who they are. So you drop down to the animal level. Na tis jat na pat. No self-respect. Sadgur Purkh Milaya Ikko Sajjan Soe. If you would remember any one of those things, then the nature will also help you. Then the creative forces also come around to support you. What does it do? Sadgur Purkh Milaya. They will give you the company of those who are on that path. That creative energy, that Sadgur would help you. Purkh Milaya. They will help you to send you the right guide. And Ikko Sajjan Soe, what will he tell you? He will remind you about that Ikko. Hey, wake up from this slumber. He'll try to nudge you. And when that happens, Har jan ka rakha ek hai kya manas hau mein roye. For everyone, he is the one who is the sustainer, he is the one who is the creator, he is the one who is the destroyer. Hey, get out of that slumber. Kya manas hau mein roye. Get out of that egoistic way of spending the rest of the life. It is not going to be helpful to you. Jo har jan bhave so kare. Now start doing that which this Purkh is helping you to do. Get on that. And if you start doing that, dar pher na paave koi. Then becomes a possibility that you would not have to come again. Dar phera pauna, circle, chakra. You would not have to come back again and again to suffer through the same type of life pattern. Nanak ratta rang har sab jag mehchanan hoye. Those. So now, look at where it started from. The first line was, Kya tu ratta dekh ke putar kalatar singar. That was the illusionary world. Ratya hoya. Unna de vich. And now what should be the? Now the same ratta word comes where? Nanak ratta rang har. Hari de rang naal khone. Bajaye sensual pleasures dena. Instead of those sensual pleasures that you should be completely immersed, if you follow the right advice, follow the right technique, it will reverse. And what will happen? Hari rang na ratya jayega. And if that happens, sab jag chanan hoye. The others will also benefit from it. They will see, they will know, they will experience, and you will become the inspiration to many. But is that what is happening? It is not happening. What is happening? See, he carries on the same theme in the next hymn and say, Man bilas baho rang ghana drisht bhool khushiya. He says, mind just does not want to wake up. Bilas. He wants to enjoy it. He doesn't want to wake up. Because if he wakes up, the enjoyment goes down. Right? I mean, last time we met, we were talking about it, that if I remember this, then the fun goes away. And I cannot decide. I say, you don't have to decide. You just follow your mind and it will take you automatically there. Because it's an old pattern. And it's easier pattern going downward. The flow of energy is much easier when it's flowing downward, right? All energies right, going up to create the potential energy is a much difficult thing than to follow the kinetic energy, right? To let exhaust. I mean, we know a simple law of physics. पानी हमेशा थले में जाता है. So, for the energy to flow downward is the easiest path of least resistance. But to reverse it, you have to make a conscientious effort. And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the difficulty. So by understanding the difficulty of every person who wants to get started on the path is saying, look, this happens to everybody. You are not unique. Nature is not being partial to you that it's doing to you and not to somebody else. Everybody faces this, which is man bilas bahur rang ghana. Comes back to the same. It's the same. You are immersed into so deep. Drisht bhool khushiya. You see the sights. You become happy with it. You forget everything. Everything is completely gone. Shatradhar badshaiyan vich sahse pariya. See, you are not alone in this. Even those who consider themselves to be very refined and sophisticated, who? Shatradhar badshaiyan. King of kings. Shatradhar. You know, see, Chakravarti. Shatradhar badshaiyan. Those who consider so sophisticated, unique, and the royal blood and all that, they say, they all fall into the same trap. Whether you are poor or rich, it doesn't matter. High or low doesn't matter. Everybody, which sahse pariya, the same doubt. Right? I mean, a king can very easily say, well, if he didn't want me to enjoy all these things, why did he give me all of that? I should not have been born to a king, I should have born to a pauper. Well, pauper has the same problem. King has the same problem. High, low, rich, poor, man, woman, doesn't matter. Everybody has that sahsa, means dubida, doubtfulness. Same duality. Same set of problems. Bhai re sukh sad sang paya. How do you get out of it? You say, well, find the right company. Get into the right company. Sukh sad sang paya. Once you are able to create and you wake up that inner saint inside you, you will actually know the real bliss than these temporary and short-lived tastes of various senses. लिखिया लेख तेन पुरख बधाते दुख सहसा मिट गया. लिखिया लेख. Now, from looking at the words, it will appear as if agar meri kismat, if it is written in my own destiny, then it is, otherwise it is not going to happen. Now, why would it be written in your destiny? You have to make a conscientious choice. If you had ever made a choice, it will come to you. If you haven't desired it, it will come to you. But if you did nothing, you made no effort, and you say, well, it should fall in my lap. Everything else in life can happen that way. Accept this. Gurbani is completely clear about it. Date daat rakhi haathe apne. He said, this is one thing that he has kept it with himself. You have to ask for it. You have to seek it. You have to beg for it sincerely before you will be given that prasad. And if you have never begged for it, you're not going to get it. So don't blame somebody higher than you. You are, if it's not coming to you, you have to look inside. Are you asking for it sincerely? Do you really need it? Do you really want it? What will you do if you get it? Are you going to use it? But if you are playing games with yourself, guess what? He already knows the game. How does he know the game? He's sitting inside you. Antarjami hai. He sees from within. Your outer prayer, your outer words are not going to be able to deceive that energy. It's impossible. Aji asi to bada karne par wohi nahi sunta. Oh God, come closer. I'm going to say something. और अब्बा नेड़े हो गया सुन. Reality, he is so close that it cannot be any closer. And he is listening and hearing everything without you first ever even utter the word. He knew it when the thought came into your mind. So stop eluding yourself. लिखिया लेख तिन पुरख बिताते दुख सहसा मिट गया. If you have ever desired it, that destiny will automatically open for you. You don't need to do anything. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Jete than tharantara tete bhavyaya. See, now, instead of looking inside, what is the mind-body system doing? Jete than tharantara. Tirtha de shanante baj gaye. If somebody said there are 68 holy places in India, go to all 68 of them. Jete tha, as many. As many holy places were there. Tete bhavyaya. Went to all of them. Why? Because I have the resources.
When I was in my 20s, early 20s, since then I started going whenever I got chance to those holy places.
Yeah.
And every time I went, even at that young age, somehow I felt very good, just because we were brainwashed that way.
You felt good because there was some ego gratification.
Exactly.
Hey, I can go to so much so Ram Tirthi ho ke aaya hai. I have seen all this.
नहीं वहाँ पे पूजा वगैरह कराई ना, बड़ा अच्छी feeling आई एकदम,
and so which is another gratification.
Okay.
The feeling good is another gratification, because the test of that is, right? When we come back to our fundamental, काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार, इनमें से 5 से कौन सा काबू आया?
कुछ भी नहीं.
Activity waste हो गई. The opportunity that you got wasted. Now, going to the place and developing humility, developing egolessness, managing the anger, the greed, the desires, then you should go every day and never come back. But if you did exactly the opposite, that 50 years later you're sitting with your grandchild and talking, I've been to, you should go there, ask your mom and dad take you there. That's a very good place. So guess what? The same drama just perpetuates and does nothing to the evolution of the soul. The growth of within. If nothing else, and I was very pleased to hear from one of the participants who visits here once in a while, that now when they converse with each other or when they are at loggerheads with each other, they remind each other, at least something is happening. That is opening up the mind-body system. where if the husband and wife could not even converse like a decent human being, now they can discuss something of a higher level rather than talking about you did this to the son and it tere piche hai, you know, sariyan aadatan teriyan hai. See what he does, and he will say, see what you did, you spoiled it. Instead of talking that, now you say, what are we doing? Don't they both belong to both of us? And suddenly you wake up and something inside goes inside you. So without having to go to Tirath, you just achieve something. A certain alchemic type of changes are taking place. The human mind-body system is evolving. So it matters not what you may be just reading a book and doing nothing else. And that book does something to your inside. You've done your meditation for the day. And that's what Gurbani constantly reminds. कि कर की रहे हैं जेते थान थरंतरा तेते भावे आया. All of them visited and surrounded dhan pati vad bhumiya meri meri kar parya. What it did to you? It created a capacity inside you which says meri meri meri.
Ego fulfillment, of course.
Right? That's what it did. That was the benefit you got out of this. Dhanapati, vad bhumiya, meri meri karmarya. All of those who can go to all of the places, they have to be rich. Vad bhumiya, bahut dharti wale, right? Big landlords. But what is their basic characteristic? Their basic characteristic is meri, meri, main, mera, main karda. The whole life is gone in that way. Look how great an achievement is mine. Look how much world is praising me. Look what I have done. How I am being honored. How I am being rewarded. How I am being showered with the praise by the society, by the law, by whatever. Well, the question is, where are you? If this is creating an egotistical monster inside you, look, you may have done a great achievement in the outer world, you have done a great damage in the inside world. And the tragedy of such an achievement is that you tried to manifest that in others also. Look at me, what I have achieved. You achieved too. है ना? ओ मैं तो डॉक्टर बन गया, तेरे को 10वीं पास नहीं होती भाई. Right? फिर वो then they will talk to each other. एक तेरे से गया. वो कहेगा नहीं मैं ऐसी दोवें पढ़े लिखे हैं, चाचे मामे से चला गया. Isn't it? If they both are professors and the kid turns out to be वो कहेगा तेरे भरा से गया, कहेगा तेरे भरा से गया.
नानक से गया.
Right? बंदा कहेगा नानके से गया, जाने का गया, चाचा से गया. और गुआंढी तो कह नहीं सकते. जीन पूरे हुई है.
No one knew who the father was.
Now you're stepping into dangerous territory. Okay? Stay away from that. But see the point. Because I am in the habit of pounding on my achievements, I would automatically rub off on my children who will say, I should be able to see my achievement. It's so infectious disease. If I am egoistic, my children are never going to learn humility. It's impossible. My egoisticness will rub off on them never the humility. And now becomes a problem for us. Well, the Western culture, we are still living here. Should we not be talking about our own achievements? How do I get a good job?
Yeah, Western culture always says, I'm self-made.
I'm self-made, man. Right. It's mind-boggling. And Gurbani says, that's why Gurbani says, it is a choice. A conscientious choice. You have to look inside yourself very, very seriously, look at our option and make a conscientious choice that I want to accept that. I'm willing to pay the price for this. Even when I have to say, look at my work, inside I know I am just acting a drama, a role. I really don't honestly believe that there is no smarter person than I am. I know that I am not the smartest in the world, or the handsome, or talented, or whatever. Even when I am selling myself as the smartest, I know inside me that it is an act which I have to put on. Don't believe that you are. Unfortunately, it is a very fine line. It's very difficult. And that's what Gurbani is reminding us. That look, Jete than tharantara tete bhave aya. Right? Gaya tirtha snan karne se. Right? There you met the sannyasis and sons and all that. That should have humbled you a little bit. But that's not what happened. What happened? Dhanapati vadbhumya meri meri kar parya. Went exactly in the opposite direction. हुक्म चलाए निसंग होए वर्ते अफरया. हुक्म चलाए, ordering everybody around. Hey, I'm the holier one. Have you been to the
Banaras, Kashi, Amritsar?
Not only that, did you go to Hardwar? Where did you take the bath?
Yeah, that's true.
Did you go about Walpid? See, I went down there. See? No, I went exactly on the stairs, went down, and right in the center of it. I was standing in the middle, and everybody was nuzzling, but I didn't leave my place. Well, they say, well, if you're not going to go there and do that, then why go there at all?
Exactly.
You wasted the opportunity. You should have gone to the same square inch spot.
You wasted a
आप तो वहाँ नहाए नहीं, आप तो वहाँ नहाए नहीं.
And this is not the experience of a single individual. It is the experience of humanity. People go to Hajj and they get killed because they have to throw the stone at another stone from a specific spot. Stone. And, oh, by the way, between the midday to sundown, and that's the only time. If I did it any sooner or later, my Hajj is going to be lesser than complete. It's the story of humanity. I'm going to the mass in the church, in front of the Pope, but at the exact time when the Jesus was born. So I better be there and looking at the Pope and doing those things. If I'm not, because there are millions of them in that square, and I'm way far and watching the television, that's not good enough. And he says, well, how do you know what time it was? 2,500 years ago. And what kind of clocks were they keeping at that time? Right? I mean, you can look at the naive nature of the human being and how it gets trapped by little simple things, and how it emphasizes that this has to be done. If it's not done the way they have develop that belief system, then it's a matter of life and death. There's an article today in one of the magazines, an Indian magazine, where somebody was complaining that there was a fight amongst the relatives of a deceased, where one of the elderly person said that you have to bathe with yogurt and milk or something, and then he had to put pure butter to his lips, and then you have to collect the bones in such a way, and the bones have to be washed into the milk before they can be thrown into the water. And when the son of the deceased said, I'm not going to go through this nonsense, there was literally fight.
Because brainwashing has been brainwashed by
How would you dare not perform these rituals for the freedom of the soul?
ਸਵੇਰੋਂ ਦੁੱਧ ਨਾਲ ਨਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਥੇ
Oh, that's exactly ਨਾ
ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ
ਦੁੱਧ ਨਾਲ ਨਹਾਓ ਜੀ ਔਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੂੰਹ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿਓ ਘਿਓ ਖਾਂਦਾ ਮਰ ਗਿਆ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਾਲ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿਤੇ
ਰਾਈਟ
ਮਰਿਆ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਪਿਆਸਾ ਹੋਵੇ It's mind-boggling. And Gurbani says, look, when you do this, all you are doing is creating more ego for yourself. ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਚਲਾਏ ਨਿਸੰਗ ਹੋਏ ਵਰਤੇ ਆਫਰਿਆ ਨਿਸੰਗ ਹੋਏ ਕੋਈ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਨਹੀਂ no fear of anything ordering around the rest of the world this is the way it is, this is the way it shall be, that is always it has been, and I am right what I am saying, you better do that, and you keep on becoming more and more arrogant and egotistical. ਆਫਰਿਆ ਆਫਰਦਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਬਲੋਟਿੰਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਵਸਗਤ ਕਰ ਲੈਣ ਬਿਨ ਨਾਵੇਂ ਖਾਕ ਨ ਲਿਆ You may be able to control the outer world, sab ko vas, but remember, without bin naam, without his name, you are actually a dust which is going to get back to the dust without any consequence. Your orders or your non-orders are not going to be relevant at all in the final analysis. Kot tatis sevka siddh sadhak dar khariya grim bhari vad sahibi sab nanak supn kiya. Kot tatis sevaka, the final conclusion. Quote means something that cannot be calculated or counted. Koti and quote. 33 crore devate devi. Quote tasis sevaka. If you had all of these as your servants, siddh sadhak dar khariya, all of the saints who have all those supernatural powers, siddh sadhak, and they are actually your gatekeepers. Dar khariya. Even if that was the scene, grim bhari vad sahibi, controlling everything, managing everything, being Vada Sahib, Sab Nanak Subhanatiya. Understand that in the end it is just a empty dream. So unless you get the gist of this and unless you wake up from this dream, the life would be completely a waste and opportunity completely gone, useless. So may He grant us the wisdom and the strength to make this journey, this opportunity fruitful enough for which we keep on endeavoring. With that I want to thank you.